Bagwell, and I'm happy to be here today filming It's Your City. Today we're in the Carson City Capitol, and I thought that you would all really enjoy having an opportunity to learn of a wonderful piece of artwork, Home Means Nevada, that was sculpted and worked on by our very own Dan Mooney and Greg Melton. Would you guys tell us what inspired you to do this wonderful piece of artwork?
Well, I've known Greg Melton for 40 years, and he actually came from Sutro, Nevada, and we started, he had a blacksmith shop there, and I have one in a blacksmith shop in Carson Valley, and we got together and decided we wanted to do a project of some sort, and we looked at various kinds of things we could do. For example, the two-dimensional pieces of art that you use a laser cutter for, which we decided we didn't want to do that. We wanted a three-dimensional piece. At that time, I had been talking with several members of the state bureaucracy regarding doing a great seal. And we kind of got, some of them took note of that and decided that they would like to have that done too. But at that time, the governor said no. He would like to see an example or a prototype of our work to see whether it was going to be worth allowing us to go ahead and do a great seal. Well, we started doing that, so we did. We started this here. It was good. It turned out to be a two-dimensional piece. We went forward with a three-dimensional piece like this. That was 10 years ago, and we just continued to add on to it as the years went by. Most of that stuff is been weathered out in the outdoors, and most of it took, like for example, the Home Means Nevada sign down there took 9 months to get it to its patina that it's in now. It was sitting outside in the rain, in the snow, whatever, for 9 months. The rest of it's pretty much the same way, but most of it is the clouds are solid silver, the mountains are solid silver, inlaid. The trees, for example, are inlaid with copper and set outside for a long period of time. That takes an awful long period of time to get that kind of patina on them, probably a year and a half or so. And probably of most note in that artwork is Greg's sculpture work, and he can tell you about that. There's about 4 or 5 pieces in there that took him a year and a half a piece almost to do. So he can probably tell you more about that than I can. So Greg, why don't you take it from here?
So like Dan says, we basically started out with this frame, and we were going to just put a black silhouette of a cabin in there. And we decided that's not going to be good enough. So in a period of 10 years, I believe it was, it just grew into this, just more and more and more. We decided to do something really special with it. And that's what we call recycled history. Well, this is from, Dan and I have collected old pieces of metal from around Nevada, from historic mining places and places like that. And we recycle it into history, artwork, artistic artwork. And we have pieces here. The rim itself is from the old livery stable in Gold Hill. At the livery stable, there's a famous picture of that. The flowers, the metal from the flowers is from an old lead mine out in Smith Valley. I believe it was a lead mine. Ludwig, copper from Ely, and there's the red dirt is from the Red Rock Desert. Different things. But the most important thing that I think is the most important thing is the bottom step, which I call the first step in the history of Nevada, is a piece of the original Capitol Dome, which my brother and I rescued from the demolition when they were tearing down the original dome. So I gave a piece of that to the governor. He should have it on display somewhere in his office, I think. But I think that's the most important piece because it's quite a historic piece. The rest of it's from different places like Tonopah. I've done different things. I've got an 18-foot statue out here of Adolf Sutro, and there's a painting at the legislature. There's this here. The Mark Twain in the governor's office as you go in.
One of the things that's interesting, people keep asking about the lighting. One of the reasons why it took us so long was because of the lighting. We first started out with regular 110 very bright, intense bulbs, and that the color, like the color of the background there behind the mountains, comes from it being filtered through glass, colored glass, and those very bright lights would crack the glass. We tried many, many things over the years until somebody invented LEDs. And so we started using LEDs, which took us another couple of years to get all the LEDs in there in the right place. Like, for example, those two lanterns hanging from the shed, from the roof. That took us another 6 months just to find the small enough pieces of LED light to go into those little lanterns and to get them hooked up to 12 volts. So everything now in there is 12 volts.
I think it's just a wonderful piece of artwork that if you and your family had time to come to the Capitol and really see the fine detail that these gentlemen put into this piece of art, the pictures won't do it justice than coming and actually seeing it. And we're going to have a wonderful event on December 4th here at the Capitol with our tree lighting for the state and singing with the fifth graders and things like that. I think you should just come on a little bit early and come up to stairs in the Capitol and look for yourself at the Home Means Nevada artwork, and then go ahead and spend a little time in the old Senate chambers. And there's a bunch more history about how Carson City and the Capitol and things for Nevada. I just think it's something we've forgotten, our Capitol, and to really enjoy it. On behalf of the Board of Supervisors, I'd like to wish you and your family a wonderful holiday season.
Thank you to Supervisor Bagwell for that fantastic report from in the field right here in Carson City. What craftsmanship on that diorama. Thank you all for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City. And here from all of us at the Brewery Arts Center and Carson TV, we want to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.